My name is Kathleen Martinez.
And I am Alejandro Martinez.
And welcome to Pink Politics, where we give a breakdown of the latest headlines, laws, and what they really mean from a blunt but necessary perspective.
So buckle up because it's going to be a bumpy ride.
Welcome back to Pink Politics. Today we're going to talk about what the hell is going on with Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, so that's the guy from Kentucky, right?
Yeah, he's a senator. He's old as fuck, older than God.
I've seen him so many times just like be super out of it when the camera is on him. And didn't he fall several times? And then they have to do CPR on him.
Yeah, he's had health issues like on camera.
Yeah, and they're keeping it real secretive on his health, right?
3 weeks ago, he had a heart attack and he was found unconscious. And he's been in the hospital for 3 weeks with basically like no update from his team.
Okay, so this guy's a piece of shit.
Well, like for who? Democrats or Republicans?
Both. Democrats don't like Mitch McConnell because he really manipulated the roster of the Supreme Court. Back in 2016, Obama wanted to get someone in there, but then he pushed hard against it. But then here comes Trump in 2017, and he gets Neil Gorsuch in there, and Democrats fight hard against it. But he's still able to overpower the Democrats and gets his way. Then in 2018, Mitch McConnell helps to facilitate getting Brett Kavanaugh in there. Then in 2020, Mitch McConnell goes back on his stance against having Supreme Court justices put in that seat during elections. He reverses back on that so that he can get Amy Coney Barrett in there. All this puts the Supreme Court on 6-3 with the majority of a conservative party leading it.
Well, it makes sense why Democrats don't like him, but it's interesting how Republicans don't like him. I heard it's because he was stopping the SAVE Act.
Yeah. Why would he stop the SAVE Act, right? When he's a Republican and Republicans want this. But it's because he knows that if you make everyone, including Republicans, vote by using a birth certificate or a passport, then he knows they're going to lose.
Because they don't have passports. They don't travel. Republicans don't travel. Or MAGA doesn't travel.
Yeah,
right?
So he's like, if they do that, then Democrats are going to win in the future.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, hell no, I don't want that. So he's pushing up against it.
The fact that the Republicans pushed the SAVE Act in the first place, it just tells me everything about their ability to research or their aides. Like, what are their aides doing? Yeah. Did you not realize that, like, Republican women probably, or MAGA women probably don't have passports?
Yeah, definitely. And they don't. I mean, those people, they
don't travel.
To them, it's just the U.S. and that's it.
They're like the people, like, when you and I were in Texas and they'd be like, Texas is the greatest state in the country.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what other states have you visited? They're like, none. I don't need to visit.
Yeah, I don't need to go anywhere. This is the best place on earth.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you left Texas, you'd realize how much of a piece of shit state it was. But you don't, like they brag about not leaving.
Yeah.
Their MAGA voters are literally proud of not leaving their state, let alone the country. So obviously they don't have a passport. Obviously, like, they're going to lose in the SAVE Act. So for them to realize halfway through, after like how many influencers pointed out the obvious that Republicans are not going to benefit from the SAVE Act, like, what the fuck happened? Like, did you not do your research? I guess that shouldn't surprise me, right? Just unbelievable.
Let's go back to why Mitch McConnell's health, they're keeping it such a secret on the wraps. Because they're afraid of August the 3rd, right?
Yeah. Death date is August 3rd. That's a very important date. So basically, if he passes away or becomes incapacitated before death date, August 3rd, then a special election would be called and Thomas Massie would be allowed to run that special election, right?
Yeah.
But if he passes away or becomes incapacitated afterwards, then they revert to the regular midterms where they have already run the primary, which would not allow him to run. So then Thomas Massie is out. Yeah. So Thomas Massie would really benefit from him dying or becoming mentally incapacitated before August 3rd.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's talk about Thomas Massie, because he's kind of a breakout star ever since Trump got reelected, right?
Yeah, I mean, this guy pushes up against MAGA.
Yeah, and he's a Republican. Laura Loomer posted that she has sources. I mean, it's Laura Loomer, for God's sakes. But on the event that she's right, then she's incapacitated, and they're lying.
Yeah, they want to keep this guy as healthy as possible or alive. To prevent the special election. To prevent the special election, which is August 3rd. And this guy's probably on life support. I mean, just everyone has seen him on camera, how he's just falling all over the place. And they probably have him on life support so that they don't have to revert to midterms the regular way. Because, by then, Thomas Massie won't be able to run. He'll be out of that. There
are a few senators and even a commentator from CNN who have all alleged that they have spoken to him. They're like, we talked on the phone with them. He's fine. Yeah. I'm like, then why doesn't he provide more than just a general statement? The general statement is that, like, he's fine.
Also, have you heard about his wife?
Okay. We need to go on to the wife. So the wife...
Elaine Chao.
Elaine Chao, she worked in she was the Secretary of Transportation, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, she's like into everything.
Yeah.
Did you see that TMZ video where they were, I think they were interviewing Marjorie Taylor Greene about her?
When are we going to call out a possible communist Chinese spy right there?
You're calling his wife a possible Chinese spy.
Yes, 100%. What woman leaves her husband's side while he is dead or dying in the hospital, flies to China and meets with the vice president? Answer me that.
3 days after this happened, after the heart attack, she flew to China, right?
Yeah.
And to meet with the vice president of China 3 days afterwards.
I know. It's like, what if my spouse was like in on her deathbed or whatever, I'm not going to China.
Yeah.
I'm going to be right there. But this lady, you could tell she's got some special interest.
Yeah. Well, some people think that she's the reason why he's still on life support. It's not about the special election. So that the special election is a theory by the Republicans, but the Republicans really don't like him. No. So like, why? What's the reason for it? If he doesn't have any really support from anyone, and I don't think he has much support from his wife, so everything narrows it down to his wife.
Yeah.
His wife, I think she's trying to get in with the government over in China.
Yeah, she's definitely got some connections in China.
Because she's meeting with the VP of China 3 days after your husband having a heart attack.
Yeah, it's like, how obvious can you make it?
She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about the optics of that because she's obviously benefiting somehow. I mean, she's in need of power. There's something going on. If 3 days after that happens, obviously he was declared brain dead at that point, and she was like, I gotta go. Right?
Yeah.
It's probably why she was perhaps in China meeting with the VP of the People's Republic of China on June 17th. She's probably trying to secure a presidential or a position of power from China. Like she's power hungry. That's what she wants, right?
Yeah.
And she's the one, I mean, she has a power of attorney, so she can pull the plug whenever she wants. So it might not be about August 3rd. She might just want to be pulling the plug at some point to secure her position with China. So she's moving on. I think she's moving on from the U.S. and she's trying to figure out her relationship with China. It's interesting because if you think about it, like, why is his office not disclosing his exact health? Because that is a matter of public opinion. You have a public office, elected office. Like, your health actually is our business, or at least his state's business. But he's a senator. We all need to know, right?
Yeah.
Neither party stands to benefit from Mitch McConnell's office not disclosing his exact health issues or his information or being honest about it. It's really shady that some elected officials have now come into play and now they're saying, oh, I talked on the phone with him for like 10 to 20 minutes.
This is how
is he on the phone?
This is how bad they don't want Thomas Massie in there. And it's because he's a Republican.
Yeah.
They're like, the only Republicans we want are the ones that are going to be shady and corrupt like us.
Yeah.
Not the ones that stand up against Trump.
They do not want
It's
Thomas Massie in there
stupid.
because he's technically a Republican, but I don't know, I think he might be running as an independent. I've heard that he's considering it, and that would make sense because he has integrity. He's a Republican that Democrats have been okay with lately because he stands up to Trump.
Yeah.
You know, he has some integrity. So it's interesting. So I think it all just comes down to Elaine Chao because she's the one that holds that much power. And she has not answered to the fact that she left 3 days after her husband had a heart attack to go to China to meet with the VP of China.
Let me take a nice little vacation to China while you're on your deathbed or on life support.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you could have taken a week or at least maybe 2 weeks, but 3 days after, like, girl was out. That marriage is done. There's nothing going on with her. It's about power with her. Her marriage is a powder play. She served in office. I mean, she's a ambitious woman. I mean, I don't think that marriage is toast. Obviously, Mitch McConnell is toast, but if he was off of life support, he wouldn't be on the phone allegedly with people who may want his spot or like don't want Massie to have a spot, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's so corrupt. It's so corrupt that his office is not being held accountable to at least give his constituents an update on his health and saying that he's okay and that saying that he's been on the phone. Like, it's obvious. The internet is forever. We can figure it out. We will figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to have Republicans, conservatives, or whatever, they should be kind of like Massie, where he's not just a cult follower. You know, it's like he's standing up for what he believes is right.
Massie is integrity.
Instead of just like, oh, whatever MAGA says or whatever Trump says, that's what I'm going to do.
And this goes for the online leftists too. Online leftists are just as insufferable as MAGA in the way that they're just like, nope, no matter what. Like, I'm not willing to see another perspective. I'm not willing to accept someone from another party. I'm not willing to educate people who I might disagree with. And that's cult mentality. It means you're not willing to learn.
That's so true. I'm glad you said that because this is happening on both sides.
Yes.
And they need to find a common ground. Yeah. Otherwise, this is always going to be the same issue. And I'm pretty sure it's always been like this. But I think this time around, it's even worse because MAGA has really divided the country.
I saw this a lot with the California election with a lot of Democratic or Becerra influencers like myself who got a lot of hate from like people who are pushing like people who would never win. Like, I don't even remember. Green Party candidates.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, how could you vote for him? Like, he's bought or whatever. And I think it was more like they're of the mentality of like, if I'm going to vote for one person and you have to agree with me, or else I'm going to spew hate on you and I'm going to leave comments and I'm going to destroy you and your image the same way MAGA does. Like, MAGA comes after my looks all the time. All the time.
Yes.
I will literally make the most concise legal point online, or I'll just be like summarizing like a Supreme Court decision, and some MAGA fuck with like no hair and like a mustache will comment like, well, you're ugly.
And
or you look like you dye your hair.
Why do they always use
blonde.
those?
What?
And why do they always use those like Oakley looking sunglasses that are like,
it's always the biker sunglasses, yeah.
They always look the same.
I know you're not riding a bike. I know you're not riding your bike. I know you're not exercising. Like, you're MAGA. Come on, give me a fucking break. And they'll leave a comment on my Instagram saying like, well, you dye your hair or you're a fake blonde, or so why should I listen to you? I'm like, how the fuck does that make sense?
Oh yeah, you got me. I'm
Dispute
a fake
my
blonde.
argument. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the online leftists are just as fucking insufferable as MAGA, and they are so single-minded in the way that they will not listen to other people from other sides. Like, I'm willing to hear someone like Thomas Massie or someone who's a little bit more moderate and from their perspective. I'm an immigration attorney, you know?
I wish it was the way it used to be, where people didn't even care what stance you had on what political party you had affiliated to.
Correct. I think we need to have more Massies, or more people who are more so independent, not like Megyn Kelly where she's a fake independent and she's obviously MAGA, but someone who's like more independent, who's willing to call out your own party and the other party and vote independently. Because I think that a lot of people are more moderate than they think.
Yeah.
And not everyone is a pure leftist like online 20-year-olds think, and not everyone is MAGA anymore. And so the only way that we will pass resolutions in Congress and the House is if we are willing to agree with each other and to compromise. Like, that's like literally what we need from our elected representatives.
Just don't be a cult follower. Don't be in a cult. I mean, people always bring up Biden.
Yeah.
I don't care what president, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, I don't care who they are. If I don't agree with them, if it's a Democrat president, I don't agree with them, I'm going to say it. I'm going to speak up against it. Whereas these people are like, nope, we're in a cult, we'll do whatever he says.
Well, I think like you had criticism of Biden. Like, I criticize Biden sometimes. Like, there's some things that he did and some policies that he had that I did not agree with in the way.
Yeah, and we will criticize him, and it's okay for us to do so. Like, if he's doing something that I don't agree with, I'm going to speak up. Yeah, I'm going to speak up against it.
Yeah, but what I hate about it is if we do speak up against our own party, we'll have some online leftists try to cancel you online for like disagreeing with them. And that's exactly what MAGA does. So online leftists, they're kind of being referred to as blue MAGA because they're very cult mentality. They're very much like, if you disagree with me, I will cancel you.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
And we can't fucking do that because there's no way that we will pass. My goal as immigration attorney is immigration reform, to get congressional representatives in office again to agree with each other.
Yeah.
That's the only way we move forward with this country. And if we're like cult-like left or cult-like right, we refuse to listen to each other and to compromise, then we will never move forward as a country. Exactly. We'll stay divided. And that's something that Trump started.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, it's not like we're fighting to have this country be forever and ever under a Democrat president.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's gotta have both parties in there working together. Whereas MAGA, they're like, no, it should always be an extremely conservative MAGA cult country for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I don't know if you've heard about Taylor Swift's wedding.
I don't follow Taylor Swift. I don't imagine you
following some white girl pop star who used to sing country. But
all I have seen something about, she invited some like idiot that has detention centers. So
she had a crazy wedding at Madison Square Garden, and there's been a lot of backlash about her having a wedding at Madison Square Garden when she's a billionaire. I mean, just me, like, I would have had a wedding anywhere else, but obviously she had her reasons. That's not the point. So she had this wedding and she invited like a lot of people, I guess around 1,000 people. So big time celebrities came and a lot of people feel certain ways of like pop culture wise, like why there? Why invite all these people? I only had one opinion about this wedding, that allegedly she invited Stephen Demetrio, who is an executive at Amentum, a government contractor that operates Camp East Montana ICE Detention Center in Texas. So allegedly he was invited.
Why?
I know, because she has denounced Trump a few times. Yeah. She has publicly denounced Trump. In 2024, after Trump shared AI-generated deepfakes on his website, falsely claiming her as endorsing him, she spoke out against the spread of the misinformation. And then in 2020, she publicly condemned Trump on social media after he stated that protesters in Minnesota should be shot. This is during like the Black Lives Matter and everything that happened back then, right? In her 2020 documentary, Miss Americana, she expressed a lot of regret for not speaking out against Trump during the 2016 election and routinely criticized his stance.
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that.
I know she's anti-Trump.
Do you think this has something to do with Travis Kelce?
Yeah, and this is the funny thing, is that everyone's claiming her, and they're all mad at her for him being invited, but they're not being mad at Travis. No one has called out Travis Kelce for who he's invited to their mutual wedding. It's not like it's all her wedding, even though she's richer.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has some power over the guest list. Why are they not going after like the white man who plays football? Really?
Yeah.
And this is a woman issue, right? This is a female issue. Like, I've seen this happen in the Democratic Party, online leftists, progressive, centrist, and obviously the far right. They go after women 24/7. The first person they blame for any online or like public backlash is the woman. I don't believe that Taylor invited him. I can't see it.
That could very well be true, and maybe she didn't know who all was invited on that list. I mean, how many people were there? Was it a lot?
Like 1,000 people, and there's like every celebrity you can think of.
I mean, it's a possibility that she didn't know that maybe let's say it was Travis Kelce. He invited this guy, and she like didn't know, right? That's a possibility. Or she knows that he was invited, and she's not going to say anything about it because now she may be starting to see the way Travis Kelce sees politics. I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting, though, because I know her sister-in-law has a podcast, and she's, like, very anti-Trump, too. So I imagine that, like, there's no way Taylor would let this slip. I mean, with that much money, that much security, that much PR, there's no way that she would know that, like, this dude that was an executive with an ICE detention facility has coming to her wedding, like, now, of all times, and she has publicly denounced Trump so many times. There's no way she knows. Why aren't people calling out Travis? Oh, right, because our country hates women.
Well, hopefully she says something about it.
She's got to say something.
She has a lot of followers. I don't follow Taylor Swift, but I think she should say something to put some of her followers at ease, the ones that don't agree with fucking ICE detention center owners. Yeah,
so Amentum Services was awarded a $452.9 billion contract to provide detention, transportation, and medical services at Camp East, Montana. For an 180-day period. That is a shit ton of money. They also face legal and regulatory scrutiny. I guess there's material circulating online that claims that Amentum has been named in dozens of federal lawsuits in recent years involving allegations including the False Claims Act violations, antitrust and wage disputes, and human trafficking claims, while affiliated companies have reportedly faced more than 100 regulatory violations over the past 2 decades. I mean, they're in deep shit.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like I don't relate to any fucking billionaire and no one does, right? I mean, I'm sure there's things that she just doesn't know and doesn't care about. Like, but I do expect her to care about her image and her reputation. She literally has an entire album about it. So the whole, I mean, she's got to publicly come out and say that she didn't invite him or that like it wasn't her. But I also understand that it might open up more cans of worms. So I doubt she will. But I'm thinking it was Travis.
Yeah.
I don't know his political affiliations.
I mean, if it wasn't her, then who else?
It would be Travis.
Who's going to invite that douchebag, that idiot that owns the ICE detention center?
Like, was he a family friend? like why? Why him? You know, I get all the other celebrities that she's been seen with, but like, I have 2 issues with this. Why is no one accusing Travis of inviting him? The man, it is half his wedding. And why hasn't she said anything?
And good for whoever caught this and saw it. And I was like, hey, who's that guy? Why is he there?
The internet is fucking forever.
Yeah.